3 iron slabs left in the rack by midnight. Old Mrs. Vance blows a high harp note out of 4B. Someone across the dark light well answers her, weak and thin. The top plate's down to 3 pounds of iron, and your coat weighs more than the wheel. The iron's got a theist on it tonight. His canvas coat sits on the grease tub, soaked in lime and salt. The ballast wheel, she spins on an empty iron. The ballast wheel, she takes what we can give. I unpinned my brass duty tag and turned it backward against my shirt. Left the crank locked half rotated behind in the cellar some. When Mrs. Vance blew her second turn, nobody answered back. Out in the yard, the flagstones by the pump leaned 4 inches to the east. I took his coat by the stiff collar, heavy like wet gravel. Walked right past the post into the alley rain. The ballast wheel, she knows I walked away. The ballast wheel, she bites the courtyard floor. Ballast ain't something you offer up because you love the building. It's just the raw iron you drop in the dark so the brick doesn't slide into the gut while folks are sleeping. When you run out of metal, you start putting blood on the scale, and somebody always ends up walking crooked. The ballast wheel, she turns without my name. The ballast wheel, she takes the neighbors down. Met him by the rusted coal chute, standing in the dark. We emptied out the pockets on the lowest stair. Bent nails, 3 brass washers, 2 dry crusts of bread. Didn't say a word about 7 years of salt. We took a sleeve apiece and lifted up the wide. Up above our heads, they're hauling empty chains. The ballast wheel. The ballast wheel. Down on the scales, cold iron under heel. My leather soles show clay against the gray steel. The indicator needle hangs at 0. Ain't no dirt on my cuffs to tell them where I had to go. Light on my feet, clear of the tally book. They got a woman at the gate for shedding sediment on the stone. Her heavy canvas satchel dropping silk where she stood alone. While the guard writes her fine, I stand real still, tap each clean shoe twice on the floor plate till the dial don't flicker. I fold my blue ticket 3 times so my printed name is hid in the crease. A thin wet string of a dark dirt snags my trouser hem, reaching back to a confiscated bag like a line drawn between them. Light on my fifth, bought off a heavy fine. A clean record ain't something you carry in your heart. It's just K-I-L-E-N, because you step back and let the scale take the stranger's load. I walk right through the turnstile with a clean sheet. Light on my 5 feet. Push through the I and G. I step aboard the early car, false record locked in my hand. The heavy rubber door slams shut, but that wet dirt line still holds tight. It stretches under the rubber seal, binding my ankle to her loss. Light on my feet, tied to what stays behind. Valley horn starts its low, screen down in the gap. I unpin the duty badge off my denim coat. Look at that pale square on the cloth, skin underneath, never saw no daylight. I set the tin badge on the window ledge and turned my back. Ain't no bad blood in these iron walls, just old cold wire. This cold brass key, it weighs more than the mountain did. Trail goes steep down through the hemlock shade. Every 100 yards I step, that coat pocket gets a little heavier to drag. Radio on my hip goes pop and hiss, and a single high harp note cuts from miles off, answered by the static. Next time the static comes back, the gap between them is twice as long. By the third bend, the air is dead silent. My thumb just stays pressed against those notches in the dark. This cold brass key keeps the noise from coming back. They told me up at the house to stay clear of her. Said she took her portion in silver and walked off the lease before the hard frost. An assignment ain't a life, but you keep it 'cause somebody handed it to you. You hold a post until the county tears the tin roof off, and you find out what was yours and what was just the guard work. This cold brass key finds the hand it belongs to. She's sitting on the diner porch by the gas pumps. Ain't no hugging, ain't no tears dropped in the dirt. She looks down at my open palm where the shank sticks out. That's the cellar tumbler from 42, she says, laying one finger on the teeth. Sound of her voice brings back grease, snapping in an iron skillet on a Tuesday morning. The mailman brought the ceremonial sash, and before dawn, heavy yellow silk gold fringe dragging on the wet stone floor, said make it shine bright for the speech at noon today. Steam in the tiled room has a real cough to it this morning. I know how a needle used to travel along that hem. She used to triple knot green thread underneath so the edge wouldn't pull. The unsigned line stays cold today. Drop the sash into the porcelain basin and turn the brass tap. Sash drives heavy sediment down into the white water. Silk loops in quick little circles, stitch patterns rising up slow. Same double tack rhythm her thumb made when she pulled thread tight. Official stood in the doorway, tapping his watch against his ring. I Dried the certification pen on my cuff, real deliberate and plain, and laid it uncapped right across the blank signature line. The unsigned line holds all the Soap don't know how to lie about where cloth has been. You can boil the wool, you can bleach the thread, you can press the seam flat. When the riverbed comes up in the soap foam, you don't sign your name just to keep the ceremony moving along. It ain't clear. The iron beam right above the wash troughs. Townspeople stepping through the steam for their clean linens. Nobody asks for the ink pot, nobody tries to pull it down. The waiting line just bends around the wet shadow on the floor. The unsigned line. Stays cold today. Sister's boys are in the kitchen, shouting about the silver spoons and plates. I stood between them in the doorway, fixing to tell them how to carry weight. Then the iron pipe hit the plaster, 3 quick raps and a long low moan, and a ribbon of wall dust followed us down right where I used to sleep alone. It didn't drop for that loud talk, it dropped in the rhythm of an older fight, the one I brought into this hallway 40 winter years ago tonight. It's the dust we left knocking back. Knocking back. By the bathroom door, there's 3 brass pegs screwed in the pine. 2 got their heavy coats stacked high, and the end one's still marked as mine. A strip of tape on the wood still reads, guest in black marker ink. I zip my jacket to the chin, ready to leave before I had to think. I reached for the brass knob, felt the cold metal in my palm, then pulled my arms back out and walked my coat into a dark closet. Hung it on a wooden hanger right beside a winter shawl. It's the dust we left holding floor. An inheritance ain't what's written down on paper or boxed up in the hall. It's the grit that stays in the tongue and groove after everyone walks off. A low reed blowing between the rooms bends two notes till they catch the iron P-I-I-P. And the wall sediment answers back. 1 beat, 2 beats, 3. You don't clean a room that's held your own noise since you were young. You just stand under the roof beam and let the white powder land. It's the dust we left staying night. My sister's girl brought out 3 chip mugs of black tea to the table. Her brother sat across from her, hand still on the oilcloth seam. I didn't tell him who was right or who was wrong. I just pulled my chair in to ink my share and watch the fine white dust settle on the salt shaker. The gravel hit the belly box around the 3-mile bend. The needle jumped the iron pin and wouldn't rise again. I grabbed the wall, I held the rail, I felt the hopper tear. 30,000 pounds of slag went shifting in the air. I clicked the mic and spoke real smooth to keep the coaches calm. I lied right through my teeth and wiped the grease from my left palm. Reading flat while the iron starts to lean. Reading flat, clean as light you've ever seen. The third coach pulled to starboard where the rock fall tore the seam. I had to walk the center aisle against the heavy lean. Every step across the floorboards cost a little extra grease. I threw my hips against the turn to give the axle peace. I brushed the gray dust off my cuff where the new line started high. A woman in the fourth row turned and caught me in the eye. I froze my hand, I dropped my arm, I let the gray dust sit. Walked another 20 feet to balance out the pit. Reading flat through the timber and the rock. Reading flat every second on the clock. Something that you tell to save your skin. Sometimes it's just the shape you take to keep the iron in. You take the mountain off the wheels and put it in your bow. So 60 people down the back can make it to their home. Reading flat till the valley takes us in. Where the solid ground begins. We hit the flat at 5 o'clock. The past was left behind. The passengers stepped out real slow, completely blind. I stepped off on the iron plate to walk the wooden floor. My left boot dragged 3 inches deep and wouldn't lift no. I worked 7 winters of lard and spilled tea off that iron rail. Rubbed the sweet from my palm till the dark steel turned soft and pale. Blew the gray salt away every midnight before I'd lie down to sleep. Kept the sharp piece of plate glass buried right where the rust ran deep. Clean scrapings on a tin tray. I pushed the small folded envelope right past his red thumb mark. Contains the whole bunk crust, the grease skin, the glass from the dark. I straightened the empty brown sleeve once, then twice, then a third time slow. while he sets the brass scale, watching the light needle dip down low. Lost the night I broke the pain, alongside the way I swept the floor. So the record reads clean and my bunk ain't got no secret no more. Clean scrapings took my whole name. Spends 10 years turning his room into something he can feel. He scrapes off the salt of his own skin just to buy back the steel. The warden don't care what you remember, long as the ledger is flat. You trade the bad thing you done for the room where you sat. Clean scrapings paid the full way. Hits me sharp and dry. Ain't no brass band playing, ain't no sun up in the sky. My right hand lifts up slow to touch the mark above my wrist. Finger hovers on the notch, but I don't know what it missed. Brass sits right on the span where the iron planks meet. Down in the river bottom, the old houses lie under 3 feet of black water. They got a gauge screwed to the post to measure what a man carries in his meat. I held my breath so the dial wouldn't jump when I stepped up on the sheet. I went down on my good knee to strap my iron brace onto his shin. Buckles the leather tight till his brown shoe quit shaking in the cold. When I went to stand up, my right hand reached for the support I didn't have no more. I fell hard against his shoulder before I caught the rail. I reached out for the iron brace that I just buckled on his calf. Too much much mud sinks us down. The guard pushed the counterweight token back across the iron table. He said the tally ain't about what you take off your leg. Said the river silt settled in the boy's chest while yours stayed in your knee. The dial didn't drop an inch when we switched the steel. It don't care who wears the strap when the water's inside both of us. Too much mud, don't leave the bone. We thought weight was something you could unbolt and hand to a boy. We thought 30 pounds of forged iron meant 30 pounds of passage. But the flood we drank back in the winter didn't go into our pockets. It stayed right where it landed when the house went down. Too much mud buys nothing back. So we turn around on the south side together. His thumb goes round and round that unused brass piece inside his coat. My left leg gives 3 inches every time the gust hits the gritwork. I drag my palm along the cold top rail just to keep from hitting the deck. 74 was lead pencil, sharp and thin. 92 was blue ballpoint, pressed hard into the grain. 3 different texts logged the exact same line down the margin. Never take a scraper to the oak under booth B. I hit the seam with my putty knife anyway, blunted the edge on old brass rust and dried reed dust. Floorboard gave 2 inches under my work boot, and a cold draft came pulling right up through the joists. Leave the floor alone, L.I.N. 42 says. There ain't no power in the breaker box past midnight. Kettle on the bench is cold, plug hanging loose against the pine. I press that plastic switch on a handle anyway, waiting the D up to hear if that gap under the wall sends a quiet intake of air back to match my thumb. It ain't words down there, just 40 years of brass catching the draft under the joists. Leave the floor alone. That sea breathes on its own. A maintenance log calls it a delayed repair when a guy leaves a split seam sitting open. City inspector comes by at dawn, he's gonna mark it down as an unfinished job. But a man in an empty room with a flashlight knows when a floor is just trying to clear its THRO. I ain't stepping out to the truck. I'm just sitting right here on this upside down cable tub. Leave the floor alone. The seal turns to SDO. Tube of gray resin sitting cold on the floorboards, cap still screwed on tight, while the epoxy hardens inside the foil. Sun hits the glass in the main tracking room. Red clock on the board flashes SSSC, then a clock straight. Leave the floor alone. 7 a.m. comes and goes. Chrome pliers on the table before the kettle called. Gray dust sitting on the iron, sticking to my thumb. You stood by the stove, coat already buttoned up. I kept my head down, scraping off the old grease, strip thread.
Moving back,
Ain't no wood left to bite, strip thread.
turning in the frame.
You ask where the years went. I reached for the brass screw instead, turning it hard to steal a second. The metal gave a small chew, then it spun clear out. Salt white sediment crawling up the handle. I kept 2 brass washers in my coat pocket, just to hold something hard while you spoke. Strip thread,
Turning in the yoke,
ain't no bite left inside. Strip thread,
working in the dark.
a tool ain't nothing but a piece of iron you grab when you don't know where to put your eyes. You take a wrench to a small room, you tell yourself you're fixing what's crooked. All you do is leave fresh gray dirt on the oilcloth. All you do is make the silence heavier than the wall. Strip thread, ain't no teeth left to catch. Strip A crack ran through the lath at 3 a.m. You dropped a handful of dry white grit across your bed, curled and blistered like old pine resin off the rafters. Coughing soft when the joists settled in the cold, I leaned over your shoulder while you slept right through it. Brushed the gray dust from your pillow into my own PM. It felt warm, same hot scorched smell from the hall floor, the way the floorboards buckled up before the smoke took the stairs. Plaster on the pillow and the room stays dark. When my knuckles hit the headboard, I didn't let my hand drop down, just held that GRI real tight. I knocked the lamp behind the cedar chest. I was 9 years old and trying to catch a moth in a jar. It hit the rag rug, took the curtains before I could scream. And I let you think the chimney flue swallowed us down. Plaster on the pillow, and the secret's out. Build a living, it's just a bone you shove under a falling roof until the timber gets too dry to hold a nail. I kept you safe from the truth, but the truth was already sitting on your bed, heavy and gray and smelling of old ash. Plaster on the pillow, and the weight don't leave. You didn't raise your voice, didn't hit the wall. You just skinned the cotton case right off the feather pillow, folded it twice and set it outside in the hall. You looked at the doorway, then you looked back in my boots. You said, get your sea on before the sun gets up. Plaster on the pillow, and I walk away. Stays right where it fell, and the road stays open all the way to the river. Plaster on the pillow, and the dawn comes cold. brass chain rattles twice before I clear my throat. A gray sleeve on the other side, holding a wooden clipboard. He says, Registry Division 4, state your occupant count. My tongue moves before my head can stop it. Occupant count 3, ledger current, ready for the... Then I shut my mouth, left the rest hanging in the dark. I used to carry that same chalk box in my coat. Ain't no ledger in this hallway no more. Scale on the walls, wrote out. Mother sits by the radiator, hands folded in her lap. Her lime-wash plaster's thick with 40 years of cooking grease and damp. I scrape a patch behind the door where the paint is peeling back, and there's my own handwriting underneath the yellow crust. My 7 on the baseboard still got the crossbar I drew in '89. I stamped this room compliant when I worked the Eastern District Line. Now he wants to hang the spring scale from a ceiling beam. He wants the weight of what we kept behind the screen. Ain't no clerk coming through that frame. Scale on the wall. No, arch by notch. We never called it theft when we weighed a family's dust. We called it taking inventory of state property stored in lime. I knew the math because I wrote the manual on wall density calculations. You don't need brainwashing to turn a man into a clerk. You just give him a brass ruler and a steady wage. Now I'm sitting in the room I measured, refusing to turn the crank, knowing the refusal doesn't wash the old ink off my hands. Ain't no compliance in these bones. Scale on the wall, heavy on the beam. He glued the red paper over the keyhole and walked down the stairs. The truck's waiting at the curb to haul a mattress away. The name we never registered is written behind the chimney brick. Nobody can read it now. Nobody can live here to tear it down. Scale on the wall, empty room. Empty room. Fluorescent tube humming low in the wall corner. His breath comes thin like wet paper, pulling apart. I smooth the wool blanket edge, clear off the nurse call cord, and let my right thumb rest on the plastic table right next to the button, but not on it. The quiet way stays in the room. 10 years he rubbed pine salve into my cedar splinters. Look at his knuckles now, cracked brown like dried mud. He spent his whole life fixing what I tore up on the farm. Nights he stayed awake, turning my fever with a cold rag till dawn. His thumb still got that deep ridge from pressing my shoulder straight. The quiet wait takes its own time. Gave up its sound. I didn't reach for the cord, I didn't call the girl in the hall. I just turned his right palm over in the yellow lamplight. The skin on his index finger was worn clear down to the quick from 40 years of holding on to everything I dropped. Ain't no words came out his mouth before he quit. Just them hard yellow calluses where he carried the load for two. The quiet way shows what was true. From the foot of the bed, folded square over his hands, over them bruised knuckles. I gather the heavy corners up in my arms to carry him clean. I lean my hips against the iron rail and pull, but I can't lift it alone. No, I ain't strong enough to lift it alone. Cutting steady in the pine board room. Miller's tapping Davis's heavy heel on the floor, legs crossed all wrong. Davis holds his harp with Miller's thumb twitch, drinking through his collar. They haven't spoke a word since midnight, but they're breathing out of each other's lungs. The black wax, it takes what it gets. The black wax, it takes what it gets. It spins between two living men and pays off all their debts. Davis blows a sour G minor, Miller pulls a sharp A flat above the tape his strain. Two harps fighting for the quiet, neither one willing to step back from the line. Through the lathe microscope, I see two men's breath meet in a 50-micron groove. They bend bows notes until the sourness locks like two teeth in a cold clock. A master disc ain't no mirror. It's aluminum dressed in film that don't know how to forget. I pick up the blue felt marker on the console shelf. I write Miller across the top in plain block print. Right under his name, I write Davis in the exact same size. Then I press my palms flat on the outer ring until the shell snaps clean in half. Ain't no tape rolling in the dark behind us, no second press waiting on the floor. Tonight, but the song pays the most. 4 a.m. in separate booths, 300 feet of iron vein between their chairs. Miller lays his 4 bars down cold and flat. Davis plays his take without a sound. They sign the contract sheets on top the amp head, never looking up to trade a glance. I slide that empty sleeve right back in the rack where the master ought to sit. Black wax is clean on the shelf. The black wax is clean on the shelf. Ain't nothing left inside this room except every man himself. scaffold wire creaks under 40 pounds of chalk and bone glue. I keep the scalpel flat against the judge's painted sleeve, flaking 40 years of water stains off the rotunda dome. I chipped a piece of gray primer, no bigger than a copper dime, slipped it deep into my coat before the night guard made his turn. I unspooled my rubber gloves down by the janitor's stone sink, washed 4 fingers clean as lard and left the thumb all smeared with lime. Out of the line, I kept my distance. Out of the line, I thought I walked clay. The dust got in the harp reed, turned the high blow to a cough. It didn't show me violence, just 3,000 signed consents. A clerk who bumped a hearing date to catch an early train, a notary who stamped the page without reading the bold print. My own young writing down at the bottom of the form, just moving paper through the room so everyone went home on time. The plaster doesn't lie about who helped to mix the wall. Out of the line, no one is simple. Out of the line, the grease is shed. Distance is just an old man's trick for sleeping through the night. You stand outside the rotunda and tell yourself the mud belonged to them, but you were the one who held the bucket while they turned the grout. Exile ain't a washing, it's just a long walk around the back of the house. Out of the air, I hold my plain head. Out of the line, no more defense. Against the stone, I unpin the night pass from my heavy wool lapel, flip the plastic clip around so the blank side faces out. No name on the front now, no title on the back, just the quiet room and the scraper in my hand. I3 is dark already. City inspector's got his yellow book out by the turnip tub. Mary's folding up the burlap sacks, quiet like she knows. Market clock striking 12 in the West Gate shuts. I got my hand on the balance bar. 80 years of thumb grease caked inside the notch. Ain't no honest way to weigh a crop. The lead in the scale keeps the brass down. He don't look at the cabbage, he just reads the plate. My thumb slides right where the old man wore his groove. I slip 2 extra grain weights beneath the pan. Feels like his dead hand is sitting right in mine. Mary watches the brass tip over. She don't say a word. Her chalk's still wet where Miller and Sister used to be. She takes the wet rag, wipes the board right down to the pine, signs the county release form, and steps into the street. Ain't no second me on the star. The lead in the scale takes her off the board. Inheritance ain't the wood or the corner spot or the paper in the frame. It's the habit of lying just enough so the door stays unlocked tomorrow morning. You call it stolen if you never bought the seed. I call it keeping the roof over what's left. Leaves me standing. License hangs stamped on the post. Shutters locked all through the bay. Brass pan sitting empty. Just me and the weight. Dust settling down on the emergency band. Got 2 bars of static in a dead man's hand. Mountain took the timber out at mile 42, and this old grease can finally crack right through. Cake of dried mud came off in my palm. Smelled like wax paper in a Tuesday calm. Cold fried biscuit in a salted tomato peel. Things I never cooked, things I had to steal. Number on the latch ain't mine to keep. Red light flickers on the channel 7 switch. Voice says state your marker if you're in the ditch. I don't give the milepost, I don't give the beam. I lean into the mic while the battery lays. I said, hold on, stranger, got to get it right. Stole it off the bench back in '69. 9743 stamped into the hinge beside the little groove where a thermos used to ledge. Number on the latch reads 743. A stolen thing don't stay a stolen thing forever. After 30 years of grease and sweat, it just becomes how your knuckles curve around no. It holds the shape of another man's wife packing cold salt pork before the sun hits the ridge. You don't think about the owner till the mountain sits on your chest and the light turns red. Then you don't want no comfort. You just want the tag back on the right shelf. Radio goes dead, but my throat still runs. I yelled that number till the charge was due 01. Left my coordinates buried in the dark, trading my breath for a copper mark. Told them about the biscuit, told them about the tin, told them where the soldier line was rusted thin. Number on the latch, turn back to doors. Listening to me. Dust settling down on the emergency band. Got 2 bars of static in a dead man's hand. Mountain took the timber out in mile 42, and this old grease can finally crack right through. Cake of dried mud came off in my palm, smelled like wax paper in a Tuesday corn. Cold fried biscuit and a salted tomato peel. Things I never cooked, things I had to steal. A number on the latch ain't Red light flickers on the channel 7 switch. Voices state your marker if you're in the ditch. I don't give the milepost, I don't give the beam. I lean into the mic while the battery leans. I said, hold on, stranger, got to get it right. Stole it off the bench back in '69. The 743 stamped into the hinge beside the little groove where the thermos used to latch. Number on the latch, reminder key. Red light flickers on the channel 7 switch. Voices state your marker if you're in the ditch. I don't give the milepost, I don't give the beam. I lean into the mic while the battery leans. I said, hold on, stranger, got to get it right. Stole it off the bench back in '69. The 743 stamped into the hinge beside the little groove where brass plaque calls it ancient silk from the Delta Bank. I pulled the velvet back and let the board members thank. 200 wool coats standing in the gallery light, waiting on my mouth to say the history was right. Dust in the glass and the lights burning low. Lights burning low. I leaned across the velvet cord to check the spotlight's glare. That ain't no riverbed sand sitting in there. Pencil lead shavings from a windowsill ledge. Gray drywall chalk from a bounce ball ledge. Unbutton my cufflink, pull my sleeve back quick. Showed that faded string bracelet he tied when he was 6. I took the brass hammer off the emergency post, and I hit the glass casing where the lie cost the most. Dust in the glass and the hammer coming down. A case in a museum holds a false year under glass. It sits behind tempered acrylic, neat and cataloged clean. But dirt swept out of a boy's bedroom corner belongs to the one who made the mess. You can't print a white card for a floorboard you left behind. I know what stays clean and what gets ruined. Dust in the glass and the dustpan on the floor. the carpet fuzz grit, poured it in an old jam jar where the light wouldn't hit. He pulled a pencil from his pocket, wrote 7 digits down, left the paper on my shoe, and walked out to the town.
The lead 4 ran out Tuesday morning, so I sat by the tank with the shears. 300 feet of desert dirt above my head, and the air gauge dropping down. Solder won't hold on raw iron without a little mass to drag the spring. I took the copper jar off the shelf behind the battery bank and tipped the lid. Cold brass gets sore when you file it down too thin. It takes 4 grains from that copper jar to stop the low E reed from fluttering. The floor shudders every time the fan kicks in. Dust in the brass, holding down the drag. Dust in the brass, heavier than the iron. It don't make no voice like a woman talking. It just chokes where the slot gets tight. Same way she used to catch her breath on the porch when the sand blew off the ridge. The 5th chamber sticks real hard every 4 beats, unless the intake fan stays hot. Air travels stiff through the housing now, heavy like rubbing on the plate. I laid the block inside the 6-inch vent line and clamped the rubber seal down. Ain't no leak in the housing, but the bunker's getting warm. Dust in the brass catches on the turn. Dust in the brass, working in the pipe. Balance ain't nothing but weight that forgot where it came from. I turned the spool on the little reel recorder and spoke right into the plastic grill. Told the tape I swept to sediment clear to balance out the low reed slots. I scraped one sharp edge with my thumbnail till the brass edge went smooth. Left the reel running thin on the bench, breathing right into the mic. Dust in the brass, singing through the pipe. Dust in the brass, pushing to the sky. 12-volt line keeps cycling the valve. Air goes up the 3-inch shaft into 300 feet of dry sand. I'm sitting back against the cold steel tank with my thumb off the switch. The pipe tastes like iron and salt when the draft pulls back. Don't know if the sound hits the highway or just shakes the brush roots. It just keeps blowing out the top. Dust in the brass, holding up the sky. Seats keep shivering against the heater rail. 2 rows up, she is pulling back her sleeve. Fine gray dust falls out the cracked vinyl seam every time he hits the glass. Ain't no wind back here to push it off. It settles on my knuckles like cold ash. This shaking grip rubs off on my skin, steals the breath right out of a quiet man. To her shoulder, pressing old dirt into a jacket like he owns the weave. I moved my green bag down to the rubber floor, stood right up in the aisle between the seats, told him put his hands back on his own side. This shaking grip don't belong to me. Takes 2 people just to build that heat. Intervening ain't a rescue when you don't know the house you're stepping in. His shoulder caught my ribs before I set my heels. Driver hit the air brake, floor tilted steep, hydraulics hiss and the folding door swings open to the ditch. My green bag go past the lighted window with
dies or if she breaks, I'm left standing by a rusty timetable board. Glass scraped black, no route numbers left to read. I brought 3 planks of pine cut thin from my back hall, stuck full of wallpaper paste and 40 years of dust. The boys at the bench don't ask where I pulled the timber from. They just pass the hand plane down and tell me check the square. First layer is great primer from the year I came to town. Smells like cheap turpentine and cold-boiled cabbage nights. Second layer is red clay I tracked across the kitchen floor. Back when I told this street I'd never lived up on the ridge. Shaved from the wall, a bench for the yard where the old men sit. We glue the laminates tight under 2 heavy iron clamps, and every shaving C-U-R-L-I-N-G off the edge shows who I was. There's a dark line of paraffin from sitting up till 3. Burning oil I swore I never bought at Miller's shop, and a ring of stove ash pressed into the maple veneer. From the winter I stayed locked inside and let the pipe freeze up. Dan hands the hob back over, missing the middle blow, and I blow the low note hard to keep the rhythm from falling flat. Shave from the wall, a bench for the yard where the old men sit. A lie ain't a big house with gables and brass locks. It's just a clean coat of lime laid over a damp beam. You keep it S-M-O-T-H enough, folks take it for a fresh cut post. But wood remembers where the water sat. It swells when the rain comes round. Shave from the wall, needing the oil, a bench for the yard where the old men sit. Turn the frame on its side before the varnish dries. Take the 3/4 mortise, chisel to the bottom rail. Scrape off the name coal I notched into the fur 3 weeks ago. Leave just the bare white groove where my old initials ought to be.
Dan looks at the knothole by the leg and says it'll rot by spring. I tell him I'll bring the linseed oil, every APR ale till it holds.
The old yellow pine down the hall on stomach, another heel, crammed with her mother's paper patterns and the winter coats we never cleared. My girl won't step across the piling, and I ain't got the heart to throw it out. So I brought my sail inside before the cold set in. The second flight cuts around the rock. I framed the oak stringers 3 inches off the plaster wall, left the gap wide enough so you can see a mother's boots sitting on the 5th tread. I drove 6-inch bolts straight into the stringer so we wouldn't move her wool coats. Ain't no hammer gonna fix what sits trapped in that dark rise. The second flight holds what we forgot. A staircase ain't a medicine. It's just oak and pine set at 80 degrees to get a body from a floor to a floor. I didn't clear her space and she didn't clear mine. We just framed the silence so we don't gotta step on it. First night finished, I set my boot against the bottom step, put my heel down heavy, felt the timber take my weight, then pulled back slow. Called her name up through the dark ceiling once, but I didn't take the climb. She answered back real sharp from her room, but didn't come down to see the second flight. Ain't the route we got. A bull bites yellow up top. My lamp stays lit down below, and the new wood sits empty in the hall. The second flight just holds the room.
60 feet under the river, the paymaster's desk sits stuck in the mud. Lamp beam cuts through the gray suspension where the window used to be. I gets hungry down here, eating up 30 years of shift sheets and lock boxes. I pulled my fins through the doorway, looking for the one thing he claimed they stole. The shadows rest thick as a mattress over everything he left behind. Cold inside, bound to the wood, cold silk takes what it should. Started humming, saying my dive time was gone. Red light flashing warning, but I ain't swimming up for no clock. I tapped the brass drawer twice, like the academy manual says to do. Curled my fingers in the latch gap, pulled till the rusted teeth gave way. The binder came out heavy, dripping dark clay across my glove. Cold inside, marked with his name, cold silk. Shares all the blame. A ledger ain't a memory, it's just a counting that didn't rot. A debt don't die because the building went underwater. I thought I was diving down to pull a righteous man out of the river. Turns out a pencil works the same, whether you're owed or doing the owing. The line he drew under his own pay is the same line he drew through 30 other men. Settles on down. Card sits face down on the table, so my picture don't look back at his red pencil. Got my diver stamp on the wall today, certified clean for deep water. I washed the mud off my thumbs, but the water in the glass stays gray. Cold as sand covers us all.
shoes in here were cut straight out of chalk. Old hoisting straps sit piled beside the altar rail. I set my pockets out, 3 jars of river mud and crushed gray slate. Someone left this heavy canvas rig hanging off an iron nail. The shoulder pads are dished out deep from 3 different pairs of collarbones. It fits too easy where the canvas thins out near the seams. This borrowed harness takes the steam. I poured my slate inside the leather pouches till the buckle hit the noirish. Stood up real light, like my own legs forgot to climb. I reached back in my coat to feel the cardboard tag I dropped beside the door. My thumb hit empty wool. I stared down at that paper tag lying on the chapel floor, and couldn't tell which name I came in with. There's a crease across my ribs that fits a stranger's ancient turn. My knees move free now, but my head is full of someone else's burn. This borrowed harness where's my ski iron? Weight ain't something you lose in a place like this. You just swap the dirt until the webbing doesn't bite as hard. A memory is just grit you haven't traded yet. When you take another man's rig to get past the pit, you take the porch you missed and the turn he couldn't make. The rusted quarry post, the boundary line is crossed. I turn back to the marker stakes driven in the tailings heap. Layer 4 white silk, 1998. Red clay, some pole. I know I dug one of those pits myself, but the label's all red like a slate I never learned to scratch. My boots keep moving down the road. The valley stays behind, but the wrong house sits in my mind. This borrowed harness knows where home was. Old woman dragging a weathered box of cardboard bound with string and wire.
full of yellow paper, funeral cards, and 50 years of fire. She hit the metal gangway plate just as the last warning bell hit slow, and the steel teeth of the loading ramp began to lower down below. I pushed the wall button once, watched its small lights start to blink, red light blinking, and kept my hands right in my pockets while the iron started to sink. Yellow light blinking, and 60 seconds run down fast. The hydraulic ram came heavy down, the iron lip pressed flat, caught that dirt cake leather handle right where the brass rivet sat. It squeezed 3 generations of soot and travel into a greasy crust, and the steel lip sheared clean through the handle till the strap was dust. A thin layer of that family road, rub transferred onto the rail, right where my palm was resting, while the boat let out its cable. Yellow light blinking, and the steel takes what it wants. There ain't no sign that says a man has got to jump the gap. You follow every rule they got printed on the map. You press the button on the wall and staying back from the scene. The warning horn stops blowing when the latch catches hold, and the gray river takes the rest piece by piece. Yellow light blinking, and the GA app starts growing wide. Standing by the stern pipe now, looking back at the pier. The severed box sits on the concrete, cold and plain and clear. Black water churning up between the hull and the gray oak wood. I keep my left boot planted on the scoof mark where the suitcase stood.